Hey everybody, Jennifer Sierzant here from Balance Your Health Now, where your health matters. So I thought I would make a video as kind of like a follow-up to my About video, which was my first video. So after I made the About video, I had some questions from you guys. You guys emailed me, you sent me Facebook messages asking me how I went into remission, because in my About video, I said that I did have illness and that I've been in remission for about 5 or 6 years. So you wanted to know how I got in remission? I'm going to tell you. Hang tight. So how I went into remission from my illnesses. Well, I'll give you a little bit of background first. So I, like many of you, was sick for many years, didn't get answers from doctors. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, Epstein-Barr, anxiety, stress, you name it. I was diagnosed. I saw probably about 10 different medical doctors, was in and out of 3 or 4 different emergency rooms because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I felt sick. I felt like I had the flu. I just couldn't put my finger on what was wrong. So I thought maybe I had to lose weight. I thought maybe I needed to start exercising. So I did both. I changed my diet, joined a gym. And within 6 months, I did really feel fantastic, but I didn't feel 100%. And then I'd have these ebbs and flows where I'd feel great, then I'd feel really sick for 3 months, and I'd feel great. So in 2007, my rheumatologist diagnosed me with lupus. And it didn't feel like a conclusive diagnosis, so I started researching Lyme disease, and I felt like I really fit Lyme disease. Now, did Lyme disease cause my lupus? I didn't know, but I went to the States, to IGeneX. I sent my blood, and I came back that I had Lyme disease. I went to see a Lyme Literate medical doctor in the US, and then I started being treated for Lyme disease. And like many of you with Lyme disease, I did the antibiotic route for about 5 months, and then I had to go on sick leave for 9 months at work. I actually got so sick, I was driving to work and I fainted in my car. It was horrible. And I was scared. Like many of you, I was terrified. So while I was home on sick leave, that's when I decided to take a human anatomy course to learn about my body. Then ultimately, I just started taking the naturopathic courses because it all of a sudden became my passion. So how I got into remission wasn't just learning about my body. It wasn't just changing my diet and exercising. Yes, I did proper supplements, I did proper herbs, but I also worked on my spiritual being and on my emotional being. I had no idea back then that mind, body, spirit was the recipe for healing because I never knew my emotions played a part. But at the time, I was in a job that I wasn't happy in. I was in a relationship I was miserable in. And I knew those things were holding me down, but I was scared. I was scared to leave. So like the universe does magically to all of us, when we can't do something ourselves, the universe pulled me by the hair, kicking and screaming. I ended up, my company was reorganizing. I had to leave my job. My relationship ended. Everything happened at once. And I'll tell you, it was the most amazing, horribly painful gift I've ever felt, because once that happened, I was able to focus on my emotional being. So once, I did the diet, I did the exercise, and once I really faced the emotional stuff, like the hard stuff, I started to get better. And it's not pretty. Healing is just not pretty. When you start to dig up stuff in your pain body and in your cells and you realize that's been holding you down for a long time, it gets scary. But really, that's the only way to heal is if you do mind, body, spirit. And I find as a practitioner, a lot of people who come to me, or a lot of people I speak to with autoimmune or any condition, there's always some background of pain body, post-traumatic stress disorder, emotional upheaval, there's something. So not only that, with remission, my best advice that I give to you today and to clients is listen to your inner being. No one taught me to listen to my insides. I, like many of you, looked outside for the answers. I wanted the magic pill. I wanted a doctor to do this for me. Diagnose me, give me the magic pill, let me go about my life. It wasn't going to be that easy, and it wasn't that easy. And I'm sure many of you watching today realize it's not that easy for you either. But what I didn't do is I didn't listen to my inner self, what I needed to do, where I needed to be, where I needed to go. When I got quiet, when I kind of surrendered to my condition and my disease, I started to figure out what it is I needed. And I knew that I needed to confront my past. And I knew I needed to confront my anxiety and depression. And I knew I needed to confront probably doing jobs that I was never passionate about. But I only got there once I just sat quiet and listened. And I got there once I actually respected and embraced my illness. And a lot of you are thinking, how can I embrace and respect my illness? Why me? Why is this happening to me? You probably don't realize this right now, but your illness is the best gift that could ever happen to you. Because either you can lie down and say, why me? Or you can get up and say, why me? And why not me? And really start to dig. That's the universe giving you the gift of trying to find your inner being. So again, when you asked me how I got into remission, it was a whole ball of stuff. I spent thousands of dollars on supplements, on doctors, on natural healers. And it's not that one person didn't do the trick. Each healer gave me an ingredient. I went home and with all the ingredients and I built my recipe. I built my cake, so to speak. So you're not going to go see a medical doctor, a naturopath, or any healer, and they're not going to cure you on the first visit. It doesn't work that way. It's a process. So give yourself a chance, love yourself enough to go through the process, embrace the journey, and just keep at it. Don't get discouraged. I promise you, I'm an amazing example of that. You can be sick and you can get well. It does take work. It's not easy, I'm not going to lie, but it's so doable as long as you love yourself and you don't give up. So that's how I healed. I hope that my words inspire you, and I hope that you go forward knowing that you could be okay. So thanks for listening. Namaste, and be well.